Hey, YouTube dudes and dudettes. Well, it's summer. I am back in my old hometown for a little while, enjoying myself. I have come up to the old part of the town, where it's really beautiful. And I will go up the hill where we can have a good view of the whole town. I guess these people could shake hands through their windows across the street. We are in the old part of the town, and there are many artists here. This is a statue of an artist, and it's quite an interesting one. I want to show you. He is painting a picture, but look where his hand is. Interesting. One last snapshot of this 2 centuries old part of the town. I'm in my element here. I got tagged by the completely lovely kalsolarUK. I know it's difficult to make a video after him, especially if you have an accent. One story I remember from earlier. We were all students. To go to school we had to get on crowded buses, and one morning we got on a crowded bus and it had to travel through a mountain region. There were a lot of sharp bends and we swayed to and fro. So we get one morning on this crowded bus. There is no seating place. We're all standing, everybody is holding onto something, and close to us one woman was standing, close to middle age, primly dressed. She was an administrator or something, I suppose. So after a sharp bend, this woman, without looking, gets hold of this and her hand stands there after this bend, expecting others. And me and my friends are standing there and we all look, and finally I say in my most official and indignant tone, "Comrade, look what you're holding on to." And she got embarrassed and took away her hand. And all my friends, you can imagine, a lot of laughter ensued. And every time we meet together now, this story is bound to be told and laughed at again. I love high heels and wear them very often. Another story. First, I have to say that I'm not a drinker. The occasional glass of red wine with my dinner. Sometimes during a heavy day, I say to myself, "Oh, tonight I will have a glass of whiskey or cognac to relax," and then in the evening I forget. And the same thing happens the next day. This is my drinking pattern. But when I had my first boyfriend, after a particularly jolly party with heavy drinking, we went away with another couple, and we went to the place of the girl, a small, very nice flat, and they put us up there. And during the night I threw up on the clean sheets and all over my boyfriend. It's interesting that he didn't leave me after that. This building you see here is my old high school, English language school, rated one of the best in the country. It was a very good school. A lot of science was studied there and other things. Atheistic, of course. Nobody bothered us with religion. Before it was that school, it was a seminary where they studied theological disciplines. And now I come back and I see that it is turned back to a seminary. So first a seminary, highly atheistic, high school, and back to seminary. And this is the last story. When I was a young girl, I hadn't started studying foreign languages yet. My parents took me for a trip to Germany. We went to Dresden. We went to an old palace there, Zwinger, where it was turned into a museum and an art gallery. And we were looking at art, Rubens, Rembrandt. And I remember I'm looking at a piece of art, at a big picture, and I step backwards to view it from a wider perspective, and I step on the toes of a young man. I turned and, mortified, I said to him in a very official and polite tone, "Dankeschön," thinking that I'm saying, "Entschuldigen Sie bitte." My parents had to lie down on the floor with laughter. I still remember tears streaking my mother's cheeks. You had to be there, I suppose.